morning and welcome to week 4 of Getting Out of Our Own Way 8-week program. As always, I'm going to start by just checking in and seeing what's here today. So I'm just going to close my eyes and take a nice breath. I'm going to challenge you to do the same. For me, there is a feeling of groundedness, a feeling of slowness. There is not a rev. I'm in the absence of feeling that there's a revving or a need to move more quickly. Simultaneously, there's anxiety that resides in my right arm. It's familiar to me, and I'm really trying not to define it. It's not good, it's not bad, it's simply sensation. I want you to really challenge yourself with that. We don't question when a feeling of joyfulness comes up. So what if this week we didn't question when an unsettling feeling comes up? We just experienced it as simply what it is, sensation. So for me, there is a feeling, it's like a gnawing feeling that I get close to my wrist. Almost as if the blood is painful moving through my veins. That's what I'm experiencing right now. Okay, so where are you? So jumping into some new content today, which is really not new, and if you're with me, working with me in 12 years from now, we will probably be discussing the same type thing. The question I want to pose today to you is, what if we got that this is as good as it gets? Pretty radical. This is as good as it gets. This body that I'm residing in, this is as good as it's going to get. The feelings that accompany this body, they're as good as it's going to get. The home that I live in, this is the one I'm going to reside in forever. The relationship or the lack of relationship, this is it. What if we really got that this is as good as it gets? How would we live our lives differently? So why am I posing this question? The answer to that is simple. This is as good as it gets, right? This is what is here today. That's how we know. There's a Buddhist saying that goes, no hope, no fear. If we stop hoping for something better than what is here right now, we could live fearlessly. So feel into that for a moment. No hope, no fear. It is when we are wanting things to be different than they are that we start going down that rabbit hole. Fear shows up, anxiety shows up. So in an effort to keep this super simple, if the home that you're living in was the home that you will live in for the rest of your life, that were as good as it was going to get, you would work with that home to make it home. So what if we stopped resisting what was showing up in our lives and we just created a home for it? If you are someone that suffers from anxiety, depression, fearfulness, control, these are things that will probably accompany you through your entire life. So why do we get up day in and day out, see that it's still there, and resist it? What if we actually made friends with it? We recognized that we are only creating more of what we don't want by resisting it. What if we started to work with it directly? When we familiarize ourselves with the coming and going of our habits or our experience, they're not so scary to us. So for instance, if when I am experiencing anxiety, the thought that comes up is, oh my gosh, I'm going to experience, a fluttering in my chest, or this is going to happen again and I won't be able to sleep. If this is a familiar one, what if I just recognized it? Yep, there's that thought again. And over time, it will lose its grip. We're surprised every single time when that same feeling shows up. We're appalled and we're surprised. There it is again, that depression. I thought this time it was going to be different. It's not. So what if we started to relate to it? There you are, fear. There you are, depression. And you are showing up just as you did last time. This is radical stuff. What if we didn't resist anymore, right? What if we just said, yeah, I see you. And when we do, we invite in so much compassion for ourselves. Yeah, Carolyn, this is your Achilles heel. This is so hard for you. Yeah, and I'm not going to abandon you. I'm not going to put 10,000 tactics in place. I'm not going to outrun you, fear, because I've done this too many times. I'm going to stay put. I'm going to turn towards you, fear. I'm going to get to know you, and I'm going to learn how to work with you. So I'm curious, is this radical? Is it ridiculous? Ask yourself how many times you've tried to outrun all of these things, and then ask yourself again if this is so radical to start to relate to it instead of outrun it. So, on your list, the plan that you created last week, one of the items should be meditation. Meditation is where we actually come face to face with the things that are the most difficult for us. And it is radical, right? We're going to be working this week through meditation, relating to the things that are difficult for us. That's not to say that we want to throw out our plan. We just want a step in our plan to be acceptance and turning towards. So this week I'm going to equip you with a couple of different meditations for learning how to stay. Learning how to stay in the face of fear. Learning how to stay in the face of depression, anxiety, unsettled feelings, discomfort, sheepishness, learning how to stay through it all. This is where empowerment comes. This is where fearlessness comes. Your first assignment for this week is going to be to write out the different areas of your life that you would relate to differently if you really truly got that this is as good as it gets. So write that down. Maybe go through, look at relationship, look at finances, look at relationship to yourself, look at your health. What would shift if this were as good as it got? How would I relate differently to my edges if I got that this was as good as it gets? Hold that close throughout the day. See how you relate to things, constantly trying to move away from the places that feel uncomfortable. And stay put and relate to them. This is where I say in 12 years from now, if you are still on this train with me, we'll be working with this. This is a work in progress. So it may feel so uncomfortable to even toy with today. But you've got all the time in the world to chew this one, to digest this one, and work with it. You are brave, brave souls to be on this path, and I feel so blessed to have you with me. So I hope this was clear. And your homework assignments, please have that completed by Thursday. Today's Tuesday, Thursday, and I would love to see them posted on our wall. Okay, have a great day, everybody.